Hello, this is Corner Invest. Today I'll be talking about stocks that are down massively year to date and whether or not they're presenting decent buying opportunities right now. So the first stock that we'll be talking about is Tesla stock. Tesla is down around 35% year to date. It is down around 45% from its highs and it basically wiped out the entire election rally already. So at this point over here, Donald Trump was elected and then the short just shot up for like 80% straight and then now it's all the way back down. So is it now a time for you to buy Tesla? So let's look at the valuation first. Tesla is currently trading at 128 times of earnings, 92 times of forward earnings. That is just crazy for any company. And besides that, the fundamentals on this company is just crap. So you have a company growing 1% in terms of its revenue, dropping its net income by about 52% and basically almost diluting shareholders as well. So for me, this company is a strong avoid because the company is trading too much on stories, meaning to say it is only trading in terms of Elon Musk. So when Elon Musk does something good, the stock goes up. When Elon Musk does something bad, then the stock goes down. And it is a key man risk problem. So you have this stock over here trading too much on stories. You have your robo-taxi story. You have your Optimus story. And of course, all these things could play out and Tesla could become the biggest company in the world. But I'm not saying that right now. And you have so much risk because if Elon Musk basically just resigns tomorrow or if he gets, for example, killed tomorrow, this stock is going to crash at least 80%. And that is the problem that I have with Tesla stock. Next company that is down massively year to date is ServiceNow. So ServiceNow is down around 20% year to date and it is down around 30% from its highs already. So is it now a time for you to buy ServiceNow? So for ServiceNow, the valuation is quite crazy as well. It is trading at 120 times of earnings, 51 times of forward earnings, and at its peak it was trading at around 154 times earnings. That is just crazy for any company. But for this company, it's slightly different from Tesla because this company is showing decent organic revenue growth. So you have this company over here growing revenue by about 20%, growing net income by about 50%, 150% and so on. And for me, this company right now, the problem with it is just too expensive. Meaning to say there are better alternatives in the software space that's presenting a decent opportunity right now. So for me, I don't think ServiceNow is a buy right now. You have other companies like Adobe. Adobe has a stronger moat than ServiceNow for sure. ServiceNow is a startup software cloud company. You have Adobe that has a legacy business in terms of its editing software and all that. So for me, Adobe trading around 30 times earnings. This earnings over here is slightly elevated because of some accounting problems. But for Adobe, it's currently trading at around 30 times normalized earnings. And for me, Adobe is a better buy compared to ServiceNow. And then you have other companies like Salesforce as well with a much stronger moat trading at a lower valuation as compared to ServiceNow. So for me, I wouldn't touch ServiceNow. There are other companies in the software space that is much better. You have your Adobe, you have your Salesforce as well with stronger moat, lesser growth of course, stronger moat but better valuation as well. So I wouldn't touch ServiceNow. You have better companies in this space. Next company that is down massively year to date is this company called DEC. So this company over here, right, is down around 37% year to date, and it is basically halved its price in about 2 weeks. So at this point, January the 27th, it was at around $200 and now it's at around $120. So this company over here, I think it is a better company than the other two companies that we just talked about just now in terms of valuation. But the problem is for all your different fashion stocks, they have no moat. So like this company over here, it is down massively for no reason. Maybe because their earnings metric dropped. So for me, fashion is always an avoid. You have another example of another company. This company is called Abercrombie & Fitch. So this company was up massively as well at one point, and then now it's down around 40% year to date. It was at around $190. So over here, Abercrombie & Fitch, it was around $190 last year, and then now it's all the way down to around $86 already. It's another fashion company trading at just 8 times of earnings. You have another company as well, Crocs. Crocs is also down massively year to date, I think. Yeah, correct. So it's down around 8% year to date, and from its highs it's also down around 50% or so already. And it is trading at only 9 times of earnings. So if you were to compare Crocs with DEC has a lot more downside to grow because DEC is trading at 20 times earnings. You have Crocs trading at 6 times of earnings. You have Abercrombie & Fitch trading at around 8 times earnings. So the problem with all these fashion stocks is they don't have a moat. They are just sort of like a fashion trend, a hype. And then once the hype dies down, all this company will start to report decelerating earnings and all that. And then when that happens, that is when everyone just hops off the train and then the stock just crashes. So for me, I don't touch fashion stocks. I don't like fashion stocks. The only fashion stock that I will look into is LVMH and Hermes. They are not really fashion stocks, they are more of like legacy brands. So for me, all the stocks here are in avoid. Next stock, this one is everyone's favorite. So this company over here is AMD. So AMD is down around 16% year to date, and from its highs is basically more than 50% down already. So this one's everyone's favorite. Everyone wants to buy this company because this company is cheap. But for me, this company is an avoid as well, similar to the other ones, because this company cannot compete with Nvidia. So if you look at their recent report, they were talking about how the data center grew this much. And then if you're to compare those numbers with Nvidia, it's simply just inferior. So AMD over here, it is picking up its revenue growth. The net income is growing quite well as well. And this company is basically at a turning point already. But for me, I wouldn't touch this company. I wouldn't even touch Nvidia. So if you want to buy a chip company, if you want to buy a company that designs and provides chip for all your different hyperscalers, the choice right now will still be Nvidia. Nvidia is trading at a similar valuation. And it is much higher quality as compared to AMD, because you have your ecosystem, you have your CUDA and all that. And so for me, I think if you want to buy a chip company, just buy Nvidia, but it's an avoid in the semiconductor space for these two companies. Last two companies that we'll be covering is one company called Cadence Design, and then the other company is called Synopsys. So these two companies are down quite massively year to date. They hold a duopoly in the EDA space. So you have all your different AI companies, right? All your different AI semiconductor companies like your Nvidia, your AMD, all of them need EDA technology, and they have to pay Cadence and Synopsys a recurring revenue to basically provide that service for them. So if you think about it, Cadence and Synopsys, their business model is basically they design a software to solve all the problems that all your different AI chip designers will have when they are designing the chips. And then they give out patents as well. So they give out preset patents as well, and then they sell it to all your different AI companies, your AI chip manufacturing companies, so that they can design the chip and basically take a shortcut. So this companies over here, it was quite intriguing to me because they hold a duopoly in the space, and they've been holding that duopoly ever since many years back already. And if you look at these two companies, whenever there was a downturn, their revenue still grow, meaning to say all these companies, they are not as cyclical as your other semiconductor companies. So if you were to look at, let's say for example, ASML, okay, maybe not ASML, maybe Micron, a company like Micron. So Micron over here is a semiconductor company. So as you can see over here, the cycles are very apparent. The cycles are very obvious over here. You have very distinct cycles. The up cycles are very high, and then the down cycles are also very steep as well. But for a company like Synopsys, basically it has exposure to your semiconductor space. But if you were to look at the organic revenue growth over here, it is just stable. Why? Because all these companies, when there's a down cycle, they will need to pump in money so that they can create the next big thing. And then when there's an up cycle, they won't be afraid of spending all this money on all your different EDA systems as well. So in this space, I think these two companies, your Synopsys and Cadence, they are presenting a decent opportunity right now. So if you were to look into them, I think they are decent companies and they are quality companies.